It's raining. No. It rains every 5 minutes here. It sucks. Hey guys, we are back inside now, but that's okay. Thank you. I wanted to kind of talk about these bad boys. Kind of like a book review, book recommendations. For those who know me know that I love to read, and for those who don't, now you do. Now, I love reading all kinds of books. When I first started reading about 1.5 years ago, my go-tos were like cheesy romance novels, Colleen Hoover, fantasy books. But now, as I'm trying out new genres, and I'm realizing that I like a lot of like suspense, murder mystery, thriller reads. Like those get me excited. First, I want to start off with physical books that I've read. The first book I'm going to be talking about is The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is a book that got me into this kind of genre. I never thought I would really reach for like a suspenseful book or, you know, scary book. I just thought it wasn't my thing, but I saw the cover of this and it looked really like intriguing. So it's a murder mystery with a slight paranormal aspect to it, so it's a really cool read. A little bit about the book. After the sudden death of his wife, Tom Kennedy believes he and his son, Jake, need a fresh start. A new place will provide a space where they both can heal. Just as Tom and Jake settle into their new home, a young boy vanishes. Now, detectives Amanda Beck and Pete Willis must find the boy before it's too late, even if that means Pete must revisit his great foe in prison, the Whisper Man. And then Jake begins acting really strangely. He hears whispering coming from his window. Ooh, but it's actually a really creepy read. My thoughts on this book, like I said, this is a book that got me really into the genre. The Whisper Man was heavy and gritty from start to finish. If you're in the mood to be creeped out, this is the perfect book for you. Just listen to this quote. If you leave the door half open, soon you'll hear the whispers spoken. Ooh. I don't know about you, but that would make me hide underneath my covers. My rating for this book was 4 out of 5 stars. Next on my list is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This is a good one. So a little bit about the book. I got all these like about the books from Goodreads, just a little snippet, so not my words. In the latest thriller from New York Times bestseller Riley Sager, a woman returns to the house made famous by her father's best-selling book. It's a horror book, I forgot to mention that. Is the place really haunted by evil forces, as her father claimed, or are there more earthbound and dangerous secrets hidden in the walls? This book was so good. If you liked Netflix's show The Haunting of Hill House, this is a book for you. You definitely need to check this out. It's so good. I love the fact it was written really cool. Like there's literally like his book is inside the book, so you're reading, it's like you're reading 2 books. You're reading her going to the house, but then you're also reading the book that her father written about the house, so it kind of like jumps back and forth. I thought that was really interesting. It kept me super engaged. So like it's Home Before Dark, and then inside there's also like House of Horrors by Ewan Holt. So it's like it jumps back and forth. I thought that was really, it was different. It was definitely different. The ending of this book was a roller coaster ride. I did not suspect it at all. I had no clue how it was gonna end. Very chaotic, and I loved every single minute of it. Definitely check out this book. This would be a good book for like Halloween, October. So if you're looking for a spooky book, Riley Sager, Home Before Dark. 5 out of 5 stars. And I'm definitely gonna reread this book again in October. So And I'm not really one to reread books, so the fact that I want to reread this again, you know it's good. Alright, so the next book is actually an audio book. It is Vinci Was Gone by Jewell. A little bit about this book. It's a missing persons thriller, suspenseful kind of vibe to it. It has like, it jumps timeline, so you'll get like the then when it's Ellie's point of view and she's being kidnapped, and then it jumps to her mother, Laurel, where she is like 10 years later. Yeah, so then she was 15, her mother's golden girl. She had her whole life ahead of her, and then in a blink of an eye, Ellie was gone. Now, it's been 10 years since Ellie disappeared, but Laurel has never given up hope of finding her daughter. Then one day, a charming and charismatic stranger called Floyd walks into a cafe and sweeps Laurel off her feet. Before too long, she's staying the night at his house, being introduced to his 9-year-old daughter, Poppy. Weirdly enough, Poppy is a spitting image of Ellie when she was that age. And now all those unanswered questions that have haunted Laurel came flooding back. Just reading the description of the book sucked me right in, because I was like, oh, what does Floyd have to do with Ellie's disappearance? So my thoughts on the book. Then She Was Gone was a very dark, gloomy, and emotional read. And at times I would honestly forget that this was a fictional book. Like, it just seemed, especially like listening to it, it's kind of like, this could be like a real story somewhere. This could have definitely happened, which is really sad to think about. But just the way that Jewell writes, it's so like captivating. It literally made me forget that I was listening to a fictional book. And this was honestly my first Jewell book that I've read. I will definitely be checking more of her books out because she writes beautifully. And it was just so creepy and suspenseful. And the ending I was not expecting. It's kind of like she leads you into thinking you know exactly how the book's gonna end, and then she goes, just kidding, that's not how it ends. Rating for this book was 4 out of 5 stars, and I will be checking out more books from her. I am going to be talking about a book that I am currently reading by none other than Riley Sager, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm just about halfway through the book, page 141, my cute bookmark. I also went into this book blind, so I really have no clue how it's gonna end, but basically it's about this actress who's struggling. I won't say that because I don't want to give any spoilers, but she's struggling. She's an alcoholic. She's also like spying on her neighbors from across the lake, and she sees some things in the window that kind of concern her, and she makes assumptions about the husband, and it's just overall it hasn't been quite like suspenseful. Like, I'm just starting to get into like the suspense. Like the first first quarter of the book just kind of like background stories about who the characters are, which I really like character building. So, and it gives like a good description of the lake and all that stuff. But I'm excited for the next half because I just know that there's gonna be a good twist. So I'll keep you guys updated on this. These are my to be read for late summer, early fall. And these are just like my murder, mystery, suspense, ghost story books that I have on my TBR list. So the first one I'm going to talk about is The House of Footsteps by Matthew West. It looks like I actually bought this book because I was so into Home Before Dark. I wanted another haunted house read. And from what I looked on Goodreads, it's kind of like almost like a historic fiction, like kind of like creepy, suspenseful, not all like scary, but just kind of like stepping around it. Makes you kind of spook. Will make you sleep with the lights on kind of read. It's a paranormal book. And the next one I will talk about is One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. This, I kind of want to read this probably after I'm done House Across the Lake. It looks like a group of girls go on vacation to Greece and one of them ends up dead. I feel like this will be a really good read. I feel like there will be a really good plot twist. The last one on my list, I actually just picked this book up yesterday, and it's because it's part of Reese's book club. I saw like a reel she posted on Instagram and I was like, I have to get this book. It seems so good. Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Jillian Mcallister. I think it's a murder mystery, but like it has a twist on it. From what I remember from the reel is that she like relives the same day over and over, trying to like save her son from murdered or being murdered or the murderer, I don't know. So I'm excited to read this book. I feel like this will be such a good read, and all the reviews on Goodreads are like 5 stars, 4 or 5 stars. So the 3 books on my TBR list for murder, mystery, paranormal reads for the next 2 months or so. Good books for you to check out if you're looking for a creepy, suspenseful, ghost kind of vibe. If you're looking for something like that, definitely check out these books. Also, you can find me on Instagram, or Bookstagram if you will, at The Book Babe. I will link it down in the description box so you can check that out. I have more reviews on different books that I've read. And yeah, I definitely will be doing more reviews, recommendations on this YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Jason's snoozing.